Hello, dear Gemini. If you've been feeling restless lately, like something invisible is tugging at your chest, like there's a pressure you can't quite name, you're not imagining it. You're standing at the threshold of what the universe calls your final cosmic test. This isn't about punishment. This isn't about fate being cruel. It's about truth. It's about alignment. It's about whether or not you're truly ready to step into the life your soul has been quietly asking for all along. And no, it won't come gently. It never does when something real is on the line. This test, Gemini, isn't a storm to survive. It's a mirror held up to your inner world. It will ask you to look at the parts of yourself you've spent years dancing around, the version of you that smiles when hurting, that overthinks when clarity is near, that stays in the middle just to avoid being wrong. But neutrality won't serve you now. The universe is asking you to choose not who you want to be someday, but who you already are underneath all the masks. Because on the 4th of August and 5th, the energy isn't just intense, it's precise. It's surgical. It cuts through everything that's no longer real so that you can meet yourself in the raw, without filters or excuses. You were born from duality. Gemini, you were shaped by contrast, the thinker and the feeler, the light and the shadow. But duality is not a destination, it's a starting point. This moment in your timeline asks you to do something you've never done fully before: integrate, not fix, not control, not hide, but allow. To allow the broken parts to sit beside the healed ones, to allow the fear to exist without letting it steer the wheel, to stop performing for acceptance and start living from your core. That's the test. And it's not theoretical. It's emotional. It's physical. It will show up as synchronicities, breakdowns, conversations that hit a nerve, and moments that trigger the part of you that wants to run, and still you must stay. This is your checkpoint, not just for this season, but for this lifetime. You can't bypass it. You can't skip to the good part, but if you face it, if you listen when the mirrored message shows up, if you let the collapse come without trying to glue it back together, if you walk through the gatekeeper moment instead of backing down, everything changes. Not instantly, not without cost, but deeply and permanently, because this isn't just a test, it's an initiation into your real timeline, into the version of you that no longer splits in half just to be liked, understood, or safe. So if you feel like something big is coming, you're right. If your body has been restless, if your dreams have been vivid, if your energy has been strange, it's because your soul already knows this is not the beginning of the end. This is the end of pretending. And on the other side of this final cosmic test is something no one else can claim for you: your freedom, your power, your truth, all of it. Waiting. But only if you're brave enough to rise when it would be easier to retreat. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest. That's where it starts. That's how you pass. And that's when everything finally begins to unlock. And so we arrive at the moment the universe has circled in ink on your soul's calendar, the 4th of August and 5th. These aren't just days that will come and go. They are sacred checkpoints, encoded with frequency, built for awakening. On the surface, they may look ordinary. You'll wake up, check your phone, sip your coffee, but beneath the surface, the energy is anything but ordinary. These 2 days form a rare and volatile alignment between Mercury, or your ruling planet, the planet of thought, communication, and mental agility, Uranus, the planet of sudden change and disruption, and the Moon, keeper of emotions, intuition, and hidden truths. When these three come together, it's not just an astrological event, it's a spiritual storm. And Gemini, you're not watching from the sidelines. You are at the very center of it. This convergence doesn't ask for small talk or surface level healing. It demands depth. It demands honesty. It demands that you drop into your body and feel what you've been avoiding, to hear what your soul has been trying to whisper beneath the noise. Because this isn't just a random energetic spike, it's a divine intervention meant to crack open the part of you that's been sleepwalking through your own timeline. It's where all the unspoken words, all the delayed dreams, all the versions of you that you abandoned come flooding back, not to haunt you, but to reintegrate. You may feel hyper-aware during this time, as if reality is bending slightly, as if time slows just long enough for you to recognize the crossroads, that sensation. It's not paranoia. It's presence. Your guides, your ancestors, your own higher self. They are all watching, waiting to see what you'll choose when the veil lifts. This is the energetic storm that clears the sky and reveals the blueprint beneath your confusion. It's here, now, to challenge you, to ask whether you'll stay loyal to your comfort zone, or if you're ready finally to evolve. So mark it not just on your calendar, but in your consciousness. The 4th of August and 5 are not just about what happens around you. They are about what activates within you. And if you're willing to sit with the tension, to stay with yourself even when it gets uncomfortable, you'll find that this storm doesn't destroy, it reveals, it awakens, it purifies. It pulls you out of the illusion of who you were and back into alignment with who you came here to be. And when the storm begins to stir, when the frequencies of the 4th of August and 5th start to hum beneath the surface of your everyday life, you'll begin to notice them, the signs. Notvage, not metaphorical, but clear, visceral. Undeniable. The universe doesn't whisper when it's time for transformation. It speaks in patterns, breaks in rhythm, and emotional jolts that bypass the mind and land straight in the body. During this portal, you'll be met with 3 sacred signs. And they aren't there to confuse you. They're there to test your readiness, to measure your awareness, and to call forth the version of you who no longer needs to run from your own power. The first is called the mirrored message, and it will feel eerie in its precision. You'll hear the same phrase more than once, maybe 3 times, maybe more. It could come from a stranger, a post, a friend's casual text. It might be numbers like 111 or 555 flashing repeatedly across screens or signs. But the moment you recognize it, something in you will pause. Because it won't feel random. It never is. This is the universe holding up a mirror to your current energetic state, showing you exactly where you are, exactly what needs your attention. It's a soul signal. The question is, will you notice? Or will you dismiss it as coincidence? Most people miss it, but Gemini, you're not most people. Then comes the collapse, and this is where the test gets real. This part doesn't come dressed in light. It comes cloaked in discomfort, something you've been clinging to, something you thought was stable, may begin to break. It might be a plan that suddenly unravels, a job that falls through, a relationship that crumbles under a truth too big to ignore. It could even be an emotional unraveling within you, a flood of grief or anger that's been buried for too long. But make no mistake, this is not punishment. This is liberation. It's the tearing down of a structure that no longer serves the person you're becoming. You don't rise by holding on to what was built for survival. You rise by releasing it. The collapse is painful only when you resist it, but when you surrender, it becomes the gateway to clarity. And finally, the moment you've likely been avoiding arrives. The gatekeeper, it won't look like a challenge. It will feel like one, a conversation, a confrontation, and a fork in the road. So emotionally charged that it forces you to choose, stay in the old pattern, or step into the unknown. Maybe someone questions your worth. Maybe you're offered something you've always wanted, but only if you stop pretending to be small. Or maybe you're asked to walk away from something comfortable because deep down, It's no longer aligned. Whatever it is, it will shake your nervous system, stir your inner conflict, and demand truth. And this is the moment, the real moment, where most turn back, but not you. Not this time. Because if you can meet this threshold with courage, even while trembling, you don't just pass the test. You rewrite your future. Each of these signs, the mirrored message, the collapse, the gatekeeper is not a threat. They're coordinates, markers on the map of your soul's return to power. And while they may arrive like lightning, their purpose is not to destroy, but to awaken. Pay attention. Gemini, this is what you were born for. And here, beneath the signs and storms, lies the deeper truth, the part no one else can walk for you. Gemini, this isn't just a cosmic event. This is about your soul's evolution. You came into this life with a sacred challenge stitched into your spiritual DNA duality. You were born between two worlds, two voices, two versions of self. One that shines and leads and moves with clarity, and one that questions, hides, shapeshifts to survive. Both have served a purpose, but now, in this moment, the universe isn't asking you to choose one and abandon the other. It's asking you to unite them. Because real power isn't found in polarity, it's found in wholeness. This test isn't about fixing your shadow or silencing it. It's about bringing it home. The part of you that overthinks, it once kept you safe. The part that stays silent when you want to scream, it once helped you belong. But those versions of you were built for survival, not expansion. And now the gate is open not just for your next chapter, but for your full becoming. To pass through it, you must look at every fractured part of yourself and say, I see you. You belong here too. This is the spiritual reunion your soul has been waiting lifetimes for. But if you ignore this call, if you gaslight your own intuition, if you choose distraction over discomfort, there will be consequences. Not because you're being punished, but because every test you don't face gets recycled, the patterns you've outgrown will show up again. Just wearing new faces. The opportunities meant for you will stall, not out of spite. But because alignment hasn't been chosen yet, you may find yourself in relationships that feel familiar but empty. Chasing clarity in all the wrong places. Feeling the ache of a life that's technically fine but spiritually flat. That is the price of delay. Not chaos. Not destruction. But stagnation. A slow unraveling of your magic. And that's why this moment matters more than you realize. It's not just about breaking old patterns. It's about reclaiming the timeline you were always meant to live. One where you no longer split yourself in two to make others comfortable. One where you stop asking for permission to exist fully. One where you are no longer afraid of your own depth. This is what the 4th of August and 5th are here to offer you, not a prediction, but a portal, not a forecast, but a summoning. The choice, as always, is yours. But know this, Gemini, when you stop running from the parts of you that feel too messy, too much, too unknown, you'll finally meet the version of you that was never broken, just waiting to be remembered. So how do you meet a moment this sacred? You prepare not with fear, not with urgency, but with intention. Gemini, this test isn't something you pass by thinking your way through it. You pass it by aligning your frequency with truth, by clearing the clutter, by protecting your field. For the 48 hours that this portal is open, you are being asked to become energetically available to receive everything your higher self has been trying to give you for years. But to do that, you need to create space. Start with a 2-day fast from all negativity. That means no gossip, no complaining, no scrolling mindlessly through other people's lives, no explaining yourself to those who don't see you. You are not here to water yourself down. You're here to tune in. This window is sensitive, sacred, and the noise of the world can easily drown out the voice within if you're not intentional. Every morning, light a white candle not because it's magic, but because it's a signal, a symbol to your subconscious and to the universe that you're ready to meet yourself fully. And as the flame burns, say these words aloud, clearly and without hesitation. My truth is stronger than my fear. Say it like you mean it. Say it until your body believes you, because fear will come, doubt will whisper, but this mantra becomes your anchor when everything else feels like it's shifting beneath you. Throughout these 2 days, write everything down, every repeating number, every strange emotion, every message that feels like it came from nowhere but lands too deeply to ignore. This is not noise. It's a map. The universe doesn't test you without also guiding you, but guidance only becomes clear when you're willing to notice. Now, mark this clearly in your awareness. The portal opens at 3:33 a.m. on the 4th of August. It closes at 11:11 p.m. on the 5th of August. These are not random times. They are timestamps encoded with divine intelligence, thin places where the veil is lifted and the soul speaks louder than the ego. During this window, the 3 signs, the mirrored message, the collapse, and the gatekeeper will make themselves known. Not all at once, not with a warning, but if you're awake, you'll feel them. You'll know, and when that moment comes, when the sign arrives, when the collapse begins, when the gatekeeper tests your courage, you'll have a choice. Retreat or rise. Delay or decide. Forget or remember. And Gemini, if everything in your body is already stirring as you read this, then trust that you've already begun. You are not preparing for your test. You are in it. So take a deep breath, center yourself, and walk forward with your whole being. Because this isn't just a test. It's a cosmic invitation to finally live as the version of you who doesn't just survive the storm but learns to move with it.